And here comes Birbrich representing 10th Planet.
Martinez.
He's kind of a girl.
We make a good team now. Great
What a match we have here. Steven Martinez, not only has he been doing well these ADCC Opens, but he's also just won the American National Master 1 Open class just a couple of weeks ago. He has been on fire in every rule set he enters. I'm super excited to see how he does here against such a game competitor.
Representing 10th Planet, Professor Kevin Birbrich. They're fighting out of the red corner, representing Peerless Jitsu, Professor Steven Martinez.
Two super exciting competitors here. So stoked to see how this one plays out. Really an interesting clash of styles as well.
And again, both of these guys have been having tremendous showings in the ADCC rule set at these open tournaments that Mo has been hosting. Both guys have gotten very deep into and placed in the brackets multiple times. But this is a different rule set here, so you gotta want, and Kevin opting to take the bottom position early.
Yeah, for a second it looked like he may be on an arm drag and then just opted to sit instead.
Yeah, I think he just kind of ran into a wall and said, you know, this is going to be way easier if I just do it this way.
You know what? If anybody is a wall in the takedown game, it has got to be Steven Martinez, because that man, I have seen so many people shoot on him and have such a difficult time getting in at all, picking up a leg or anything of the sort. He's an incredible wrestler himself, but I will say that playing bottom supine guard is not somewhere I'd want to be with Steven Martinez.
Definitely not, but you know, Kevin's game is just so unusual. He's, for a guy his size to be able to be as dexterous and flexible, malleable even might be a word I would use for him. He's very unorthodox.
I think that's why I'm really excited to see this match, because
Total
Steven,
style clash.
Yes, exactly. Like usually people in his weight division do not have guards quite like this.
Exactly. But you know what? Steven Martinez is bringing this old school style pressure. Kevin holding on with this knee shield, using the left frame, looking to go underneath. Nothing working just yet. And he may think about getting into his half guard if this knee shield open situation doesn't work out. Steven changing sides here. I think that's a nice play by him. Test Kevin out on this other side. Kevin proving that he's there for that test.
Now,
Resets back to the other side.
Kevin's ability to avoid the body lock here from Steven is a huge thing to note, because that is Steven's bread and butter. He is constantly going into the body lock. Now, as I say that, of course, he has a really nice control on the head and arm. He's made a little bit of chest connection, not quite able to surpass to bring his right knee through, and we still have Kevin surviving there, not only with a knee shield, but now into a high guard.
Yeah, he thought about trying to rip into the rubber guard there for a second. Steven responded immediately, passing that same side knee up to the middle and made it very difficult. Kevin recognizes that right away. That any kind of rubber guard right here is about to get me past. Bails back to his open guard.
Almost an entry on the far leg there. Kevin wasn't quite able to bring the leg over and get his hips underneath, but Steven does a really excellent job bringing a lot of pressure while keeping his hips back, what you need to do with someone like Kevin, who is very comfortable getting in underneath your legs and your hips. If you can keep your legs and your hips back as you bring upper body pressure, which we saw now in that sprawling position, that's going to give you a big advantage against a competitor like this. And as I say that, almost into a very solid pass here with that far shoulder control.
Yeah, that was beautiful work. We almost saw him complete the pass with that same grip a little earlier. He gets that butterfly, clears the head. Instead of taking the crossface, he just totally commits to that far side shoulder. Very reminiscent of the way we see Mika Galval passes like this all the time, just committing to that far side shoulder.
Now, Kevin doing an excellent job of recovery. He kind of oscillates between the knee shield and a little bit of a butterfly action and uses that to create enough space to bring his legs back inside. Steven really has a great upper body control, but every time Kevin brings that bottom leg back in, he has to reset his pass completely.
Really nice recovery, but Steven putting the heat on the guard of Kevin Birbrich. Couple of really talented high-level black belts duking it out right here, and there's almost a completed pass, and there it is.
It's almost pass number 2 for Steven, but what I just saw Steven do, which is important to note, he actually stepped back into the half guard to gain a better passing position instead of risking a complete recovery by Kevin, although, as I say that, Kevin able to bring his legs back inside. Almost in on a leg entry there.
Yeah, and Kevin's going to have to find a way to change the way this match looks right now if he wants to pull this win out, because Steven's been leading the dance, putting heavy pressure on. Kevin not able to create really any off balances. His 2 attempts to throw the rubber guard up have been stifled pretty quickly. And again, Steven taking that far side shoulder grip, this time trying to put in a crossface, and now he's going to try to step around, completing the pass towards the north-south, hoping to expose the Kimura maybe.
Now, Steven has a very dangerous north-south position. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him chain the Kimuras together with some north-south bicep choke or some attacks on the head. And as I say that, though, he switches back to more of a knee cut position, diving that knee through with that upper body control.
Kevin just constantly finding the inch that he needs to get his knee back in, recover back to his guard, and now he's trying to get into this false reap here maybe, creates an exposure, gets underneath, using it to create a sweep here. Steven stays on top. Here's a leg entry now.
This is the best entry we've seen from Kevin so far. He lost the knee line.
Great reaction by Martinez.
Loses the knee line, so it's not quite deep enough yet.
He's going to switch off to a ham sandwich here maybe.
This is the best Kevin has looked so far, but Steven able to clear that knee line so many times in a row.
Very dangerous attack there by Kevin, and Martinez just expertly navigates it. Kevin barely recovering back to his quarter guard. Steven looking to go to the head, and now here's another off balance by Kevin. Only 20 seconds left. If he could steal a position with a big off balance, that would be big.
Another far shoulder control there from Steven Martinez. Almost able to get the leg in front there as Kevin for a last minute attack. Saw a little bit of a look at his steam with 5 seconds left.
And there it is again. It's going to be Steven Martinez. Just don't see a scenario where they can give that one to Birbrich. Martinez dominating the top position, dominating the passing. Kevin, incredible guard retention, guard recovery. Couple of quick off balances, almost had a great entry to the legs, but ultimately it's the top game, the passing, and the traditional style pressure from Steven Martinez that's going to get his hand raised here at Subversiv.